you to the second session. Our focus on this session is the shifting landscape of philanthropy and social investments in Africa. Chairperson for this session is the Executive Director, CEO, DANJUMA Foundation, in person, THELMA EKIYOR. Let's put our hands together and welcome her. We'll also be having Dr. Wibaboa, CEO, Tony Elumelu Foundation, who'll be speaking on impact investing. Let's welcome Dr. Boa. While we wait for Dr. Boa to come in, we'd also like to welcome Mr. Tunji Adeyinka, Managing Director, Connect Marketing. We'll be speaking on course marketing and sponsorships, connecting the dots. Lastly, for this second session, we'd also like to welcome Dr. Adeyeye Adewale. He's the Executive Director, COPE Africa. His focus is on CSR and philanthropy, strategies for forming productive partnerships. Let's receive Dr. Adeyeye Adewale. Ladies and gentlemen, as I always say, if you keep clapping, he'll come faster. Can we keep clapping? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. While we wait for the other speakers to join them on the high table or panel, I would like to hand over the microphone to the chair for this session, THELMA EKIYOR. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Okay. I was just making sure people were still here. It's always difficult to run the session right after lunch. So my panel has a dual challenge. One is to keep it interesting, and the other is to make sense. I believe we can do the latter easily, but let's try and keep it interesting. The session before lunch was very engaging. The presenters were really good, and I'm sure we will not lower the bar. I did see Wibaboa, so I'm sure he's going to make his way here shortly. I think this panel is really important, and I once again yesterday in the smaller CEO roundtable, I thanked the organizers for doing this, but I think it's important again to thank them not only for doing this, but also for putting a panel on the changing landscape of philanthropy and social investment. I think any Nigerian that pays attention to news or reads any form of newspapers these days can tell that something is happening in Nigeria in terms of philanthropy. And Nigeria is not alone. Across the continent, we're having different strains of philanthropy. And I'm sure my panel will talk more about that. So it's very important as we analyze the growth, the emergence of CSR in our different contexts, we also look at philanthropy and the role it plays, the nexus between philanthropy and CSR, and why perhaps some people are looking at it as an either or.